let's talk about psychology today. So what is psychology? Psychology is the study of mind, especially related to behavior. And what people don't realize is that there are endless possibilities when it comes to studying psychology because there are so many areas to focus on. Examples include language usage, the way people dress, why people act the way they act, etc., etc. And another thing people fail to realize is that we can connect math with it. And you must be wondering, how is math, how are math and psychology connected? How can they be researched together? And it's very much possible. And the answer to that question is statistics. I know, everyone hates statistics. I know I do sometimes. But anyways, that is how it's done. So first I'll talk about musical preference and personality. How are they related? So I've read a series of articles that conducted research on, how personality and musical preference are connected. And one article that I've read from The Independent conducted a study with over 4,000 participants. And they basically concluded that there are two different types of people when listening to music. So there are these group of people called empathizers who listen to soft, emotional, sad music such as R&B, soul, soft rock. There are also people who are the exact opposite of empathizers called systemizers who listen to heavy metal, rock, punk music. And basically, this is an example of how what the type of music you listen to is connected to your personality, what type of person you are. So people who are intense are going to be the systemizers. People who are empathizers, have are more emotional. So the University of Texas also conducted a research. Um, Basically, they wanted to test how open are people willing to be. So they concluded that that listen to classical music, jazz music, blues, are open to new experiences, open to trying new things, etc. And people who listen to country and pop are more athletic, more extroverts, but more conservative. They do like socializing, but they aren't as open to new experiences. Um, Another research was conducted by a university in the United Kingdom called Heriot-Watt University, and they conducted a sample. They conducted research with a sample of 36,000 people. And one thing to know about statistics is that the greater your sample size, the more accurate your test will be. So, compared to the independent who only conducted a research with 4,000 people, um, this university in the United Kingdom conducted with their research with 36,000 people, which is going to be more accurate. Um, so, what they wanted to test is the significance of music with identity. And in the end, they concluded that it is significant. And they gave examples of, music genres and what to expect in a person who listens to that genre. So, for example, someone who listens to rap is going to have high self esteem and tend to be outgoing, whereas people who listen to pop also do have high self esteem but aren't as creative or aren't at ease most of the time compared to people who listen to rap. And there's a whole list of, musical genres and people's personality. You know, this is the majority, might not be every single person, but it kind of gets the gist of everyone. So then I decided to study myself the connection between musical preference and GPA. So we're going to assume that GPA is um, is a precursor of how much of a hard worker you are. So I took a sample of, well, first of all, I created a survey and I accepted as many responses as possible and I got up to 70. And from those 70, I chose 50 randomly. And what random selection does is reduce variability, which in the end makes my statistical test more accurate. So within those 50 that I chose, I wanted to test if GPA and musical preference are independent of each other. In other words, if GPA is independent of musical preference, that means that, you know, it's not affected by each other. So, for example, there's a stereotype that people who listen to rap music tend to have low GPAs. Well, I wanted to test that and say, you know what? Any music genre that you listen to will not affect your GPA in the end. So, in the end, I conducted a statistical test, right? And I concluded that GPA and musical preference are actually dependent of each other. So, this is a good thing because musical preference, again, will affect your personality because it does affect how you dress, it affects how you speak. And so, in the end, it will also affect, um, your willingness to work hard and how you decide to perform your tasks. Are you creative? Are you at ease? Stuff like that. So, saying that GPA and musical preference are actually connected means that someone with a low GPA and listens to a specific musical genre, doesn't have to be rap, um, you know, isn't as hardworking as someone with a high GPA because of the music preference. So that's the gist of my research. It might not be as accurate as those who have conducted research with over 30,000 people. This is just research with 50 people, but I mean you still kind of get the idea of it. And so I hope that this kind of helps you understand that people who listen to a certain music genre are the way they are because of that. And that's just one factor. It's not going to be the main factor. There are plenty of other outside factors or variables that affect how you are. And, you know, it's just amazing to see that math and psychology can be connected. And there are really endless possibilities with both math and psychology to study with.